In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you can rewrite your entire Amazon listing using AI, and why this one single change could be the difference between getting buried on page 47 and hitting the top 4 search results. This strategy will not only help you rank better organically, but will also get you shown in Rufus, which is Amazon's new AI chatbot assistant. Here's exactly what we're going to cover. First, I'll show you the 3 critical listing elements that most sellers get wrong. Then I'll walk you through my exact AI prompt that generates listings that's optimized for both human buyers and Amazon's algorithm. And then finally, how to format everything so that it actually converts browsers into buyers. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name's Jake and I run Systems Lab, and we manage over $150 million in annual revenue with our AI agent. So let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so before we actually get into the prompt itself, I just want to quickly go through this visual because I think it's very important. So just bear with me, it's going to take 1 minute to explain. But I think there's been a fundamental shift in the way that sellers and shoppers both interact with Amazon. So I think it definitely pays to understand this relationship. So for SEO purposes as a seller, the old way was more of I would guess you could call it a continuum. So we can slide across this scale here from persuasive copy to keywords. You've probably seen this yourself. You've seen it with competitors where maybe they have very, very persuasive copy, but they don't have very strong organic ranks because they don't include many keywords in their listing. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you may have, sellers that stuff all of their keywords in, but it's just not very persuasive and it's not very readable from a human perspective. And it was always about trying to find the balance between having sufficiently persuasive copy and enough keywords so that you can get indexed and rank organically. Now, this was the old way. The new way is more of a triangular or a multi-dimensional approach, I guess you could call it. So we can see here that now we still have the persuasive copy, we have the keywords, but there's an additional variable here, and that's context. So what Rufus wants to see is context. So they can use something called semantic reasoning, which essentially means you've provided me with this phrase and I can understand the broader context around this. So our exposure is no longer limited or constrained by the keywords we provide it. Amazon can actually draw out the context from the phrases that we provide it. So what we want to be doing is hitting as many different angles and as many different context as we possibly can include in our listing so that Amazon can pull out all of this context and show our products and recommend our products to anyone that might be relevant through Rufus. And Rufus already accounts for between 10 and 20% of total traffic on Amazon.com, and that number is only going to grow over the next few years. So this context element is very, very important, and the best sellers that I've seen, the ones that are really crushing it, they're taking a multi-dimensional approach to their exposure. I like to call this the holy trifecta. So now we've got keywords, persuasive copy, and context. So it's no longer a continuum, a spectrum of between persuasive copy and keywords, and it's more so, is it keyword stuffy and persuasive, or is it context driven and keyword stuffy? And what we want to do is find a happy medium. Now this prompt that I've written out and I'll provide you with is going to help find that happy medium between the 3 here. So let's jump into the prompt. So we can head into chatgpt.com, and as you can see here, we've got a pretty robust or detailed, I should say, prompt, and it includes the 3 key elements of a listing. So you can see that we're giving it a role, which is always prompt engineering 101. You want to give it a role and then you want to assign it a task. So you can see here, we've told it what it is. It's an Amazon listing expert, etc., etc. I'm not going to read out the whole thing because it's pretty long, but I'll provide it in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in. And basically, all we're going to do is give it access to Amazon's scientific paper on Rufus. And ChatGPT will actually go out and search the web for all relevant information on Rufus as well. Now, the things that we're going to change are the keywords and our current bullet points. So I'm going to give you a live example of how we would do this. So you can see here, we've got, here are my original bullet points and here are my keywords. So you're going to enter your keywords here and you're going to enter your original bullet points here. Now I've chosen a product something that I've been interested in recently, this NoBS product here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take their bullet points here and I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to head back over to ChatGPT and I'm going to paste it here. So you can see, here are my original bullet points and we've got them here. And then we're going to identify the keywords that are in our listing and then we're going to paste them in here. So if you don't have a systematic way of identifying the keywords in your listing, I would suggest using a tool like DataDive or Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. If you want to do another video on that, let me know in the comments and I can create a video on that as well. but I'm just going to go back over here and I'm just going to try and find some keywords that we can take and pull into here. So I'm going to use this one here. And I'm just going to pause the video for a minute as I include a few keywords in here. Okay, so you can see that I've included 5 keywords here. Now, transparently, I would recommend somewhere around the 10 keyword range. So you're really looking at around 2 keywords per bullet points. Now, for the sake of this example, I'm just going to include these 5 keywords here. But again, I just want to reiterate, I would probably include 10 keywords and they're going to be the most important keywords. So high search volume, relevant keywords. So once we've got the keywords here, once we've included our original bullet points, we're just going to hit enter like that. And I'm just going to give it a moment to produce the output. So I'm going to pause the video again and then I'll start it back up in a moment. Okay, so it's completed. Now you'll see here here is your optimized bullet point rewrite using principles from Rufus's AI contextual ranking system and copywriting frameworks from Gary Halbert and Joseph Sugarman. And if you don't know who those 2 guys are, they're basically just copywriting legends. So we want to use like framework from good copywriters. Now they don't necessarily have to be these 2 guys. You can change that within the prompts. If you prefer a different copywriter, that's entirely up to you. But I like these guys. I like the style that they write in. So I've decided to keep it there. And then also preserving exact match keywords and enhancing contextual relevance. So you can see that it's sticking with those 3 core critical elements of a good listing. So we've got persuasive copy, we've got context, and we've got keywords. Remember, we want to have all 3. So you can see here we've got the optimized bullet points, as you can see. And you'll notice that all of the keywords have been emboldened. So within the prompt, we actually ask ChatGPT to embolden the keywords so we can ensure that they're actually in there. As you know, AI sometimes has a proclivity to hallucinate. So we want to make sure that it's retained the keywords in there and it's in the exact format that we want it to be in. So you can see here, and then it's also going to give you an explanation of the changes that have been made and why the changes have actually been made as well, which I think is super important, just so you can really get an understanding of exactly what Rufus is and what it wants to see, because this is a little bit of a gold rush at the moment, in my opinion. Some people think that it's overhyped, but I personally believe that more and more shoppers will continue to adopt Rufus, and as Rufus gets better, and it will just act as like a positive flywheel basically. And then eventually I personally believe that everyone will be using Rufus because it will be so good. So it's a 0 cost tool that you can implement at the moment, but I think it can pay huge dividends in the future. So you can see here it's got the original bullet point. It will tell you the key changes that have been made, and it will tell you why this helps with the Rufus optimization as well. And then you can also include product description, and it will A/B test things as well. But essentially that's everything. And as you can see, it does not take long at all. All it requires you to do is identify your keywords, paste them into the prompt, and then take your bullet points, your original bullet points, and paste it into the prompt as well. And it will rewrite it for you in literally 10 seconds. So yeah, that's everything for the video. I hope you took some value from it. Now, I just want to reiterate, it's crucial to contain all 3 of the core elements of a good listing. So it needs to be persuasive because we actually want people to convert. It needs to include keywords because we actually want to be seen. And as of 2025, of June 2025, keyword-centric SEO is not going anywhere. But then we also want to enhance or augment our listing by providing Rufus with as much context as possible, because that's really a growing market as well. And it's a no-cost action that you can take. So that's everything from the video. If you like these types of videos, just leave a thumbs up or a like, just so I know, a little bit of feedback so I can continue making videos like this, how you can use AI to 10x your output and make better quality decisions. If there's anything that you want me to cover in another video, feel free to leave a comment and be sure to subscribe as well so you get notifications whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, that's everything for the video. Thank you for staying till the end. Take care.